Welcome back to Good Day. Well, it may not have happened to some of us yet, but it eventually will. I think I got some gray hairs I got to cover up here. Yeah, we hit middle age, 40 to 60 years old. It's not a bad thing.
Hey, listen, we want to continue to live, so we want to hit that.
Yes.
It's not something to look down upon.
Yeah.
Well, some folks, they don't deal with midlife well.
Yeah.
They sometimes have what everyone calls a crisis. But what if you could turn that getting older dread into something wonderful?
Author of Midlife Calm, Krista Powers, and a friend of Good Day, Kerry Patrick Clark, join us this morning. You got your guitar, so I'm pretty sure you're going to play that for us here in just a little bit. A nice collaboration you have going on here.
We sure do. Well, and if I could, I'll just share the essence of Midlife Calm is rooted in we're human beings, not human doings. And it's tricky with all the societal expectations and noise and chaos in the world. And so the trick is to dial down the external pressures and noise and dial up the internal wisdom and really come into this recalibration with self and your authentic self. And that's really what it's all about. And the nice thing is, it's something that we get to keep doing over and over. It's not a one and done. So while the title is Midlife Calm, it's really for any age and stage of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I think the stress of just juggling so many things that if we can bring calm no matter what age you are.
Exactly.
Well, and what if we learn it earlier than later, right?
Yeah.
We don't get to the crisis point.
Right.
But we learn the tools and the wonderful stories in Krista's book and dive into our hearts.
And Krista, you said turning those things up. What are some of those things we need to turn up?
Yeah, it's really turning up an understanding of, it's setting down the masks that we put on over life to protect ourselves and to, you know, show up as successful and climb the career ladder and those various things that we think we're supposed to do. But it's setting down the masks and having some pause with our choices and being very intentional so that we can then say, you know what, I'm a little goofy.
And that's okay.
Right? Or I'm vulnerable or I'm generous, right? And showing up in those ways of being versus all the doing.
So you all worked together, you wrote the book, and you wrote a song to go along with it.
Well, Krista dialed up the wisdom and called me.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yes, I did.
No, I don't know. It was just one of those brilliant things. I think you had one of those heart moments and called your friend and said, what do you think? Can you write a song? I'm like, I don't know. Send me a book.
Yeah.
Right? And
then he told me he doesn't read books.
I don't read books. That was the next statement. Ones without pictures. Okay?
Yeah.
And I read the book and it just, I'm diving in because the stories that you share from your experience invite me into my experience, right? You didn't stop there because it's not the book about your life. It's a book about our lives and our experience. But based on this experience that I've had, there's probably a moment in your life that you had a similar experience. How about trying these things, right? And it's really, for me, the conversation is head versus heart. And the heart always leads the head in my language.
So for you as a songwriter, after reading this book, was this difficult or did it come pretty easy to write this song?
That's a great question because for me, writing based on a story or based on something that's already created is easier for me because I have the framework already. And I just have to let the muse happen and find out where it fits. And then it became this dialogue back and forth where it wasn't necessarily landing for Kristen. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing for me because that's how we do life. We rub up against each other. That's not a bad thing unless I make it a bad thing.
Right.
And so your language with me was so lovely, and I get how wonderful a coach you are, life coach you are, and career coach and business coach. But that's what happened in our relationship, and the song took off from there, and it became what it became, and it was a great process, and I'm really, really proud of our song.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing it. And what got you to that point where you said, I need to write a book about this because midlife crisis, I've been hearing that. I don't think I've gotten to that point.
No.
Right, not close. I don't.
You buy the car, you do what you
those things. Yeah, I haven't felt that way, but so many. You know, you hear that, you see it in the movies all the time. What got you to that point to say, hey, let me put something on paper so people can benefit from this?
You're probably not going to be surprised. It was the pandemic. It was the time of coming in and slowing down and having time with myself and going on walks along the river down in Cincinnati and just really starting to live listen and let that internal wisdom bubble up versus being crowded with what I was supposed to be doing and, you know, what I was creating at work and how I was succeeding. So it was just some space that really allowed me to realize this isn't just about me. There are others who are also confronting this, and I started to have conversations and look at, what do you think about midlife crisis and how can we shift it? And just that kaleidoscope twist of, what if we have a different perspective? What is possible? And that's where a crisis becomes calm, and we get to create it for ourselves.
Just a little tweak.
Just a little bit.
That's exactly right.
So where can we get the book, and where can we download the song? Because we're hearing it for the first, before everybody, right?
This is the world premiere, essentially, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So you can get the book on any major platform. You can go to Amazon. My publisher is Vitality Cincinnati. But really, you can go anywhere. There's ebook. There's a hard copy of it out there on Amazon. And you can just Google Midlife Calm. And then the song
Similar with the song, every major platform that you can download or stream it will be on tomorrow.
Tomorrow, but you're going to hear it here first.
That's
On
right.
Good Day, a soundtrack to a book.
That's right.
Take it away.
Yes.
All right, man. Myself today, sitting by a river when I heard me say, water smooth these ragged rocks and carve this shore. Like these rocks I've made things hard before. I had volunteered, I would be the front line and I'd persevere. I analyzed and fortified, no thing was missed. I had a plan for everything but this. Rivers take their time. They flow, they fall, they rise, and I surrender, and I show up. No matter what it takes, because I know I am enough. Leave the chaos and welcome calm. Fear may sometimes follow, it's not leading where I'm going. Home, home. And then I wrote a storybook. People and the places and the paths I took. Losses and the victories to celebrate. Times I loved and times I chose to hate. And then I built a fire. Which story or which memory should be retired? I never thought that letting go would be a gift. The dancing flames reminded me of this. Fires hypnotize, and from the ashes rise. I surrender, I show up, no matter what it takes, because I know I am enough. Leave the chaos and welcome calm. Fear may sometimes follow, it's not leading where I'm going. My open eyes can see, yes I am, and I will be. I surrender, I show up. The voice inside reminding me I've always been enough in this moment. Now I know to breathe and be is all it takes to get me where I'm